Okay, hello and welcome back to the Get to Know podcast, the podcast where, as the title suggests, we get to know someone each and every week. Today, we have an amazing guest at almost 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, almost 10,000 followers on TikTok, and he is XOHD's best friend. Wadism. Hello.
I've never been introduced as that before. That is the most degrading title a human could have, Isaac. How dare you?
I can't lie. I spoke to Dan and he wanted me to put it in the intro.
I tell you what, last night when I knew I was obviously doing this today, I was like, any money you've spoken to Dan and asked Dan, like, should I say anything? And I was like, Dan's going to fuck me right up here, isn't he? What a dick.
Well, that was one thing he asked me to put in. He's asked me a couple of other questions, but we'll get into that later.
This is going to be fun, isn't it? I'm fine, thank you, darling. How are you? Back to the actual question.
Yeah, I am good. So, right. Before we get into any of the proper questions, I always like to start off each podcast now with a little game called the Hygie game, where I have a pack of 300 cards. Each card has 3 random questions on it. So I have no idea what I'm asking you.
Okay, all right.
Can literally be about anything. All right, I've pulled a card out. Oh, this is a lengthy one. Okay.
Boy.
Describe a time when you felt like a terrible person.
Every morning when I wake up, to be honest, mate. Oh God, when did I feel like a terrible person? I mean, just subtle little things like cracking wise jokes at funerals. I suggested a family photo at a funeral. Apparently that was a bad thing to do. Everyone's in a bad mood. I'm trying to think of something legitimately terrible that I've done, but when you're as brilliant as no, that's a lie. I did. No, I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's something. You know what? I'll come back to that one. I'm sure there is something. I'm a pretty horrible person at some time. But...
All right. Next question on the card then. Do you go easy on people in games or sports when you know that your skill level is much higher than theirs?
I don't think I've got the option 90% of the time. I mean, you've seen me play COD, Isaac. It's not pretty. I like... If I'm having a good day, yeah, sure. But, I mean, mind you, I played football against a deaf team once, right? A team of deaf players. And we drew, I think. They're decent, because I suppose you lose one sense, you gain another one somewhere. Yeah. Well, supposedly. Either that or they've just got massive cocks. But do you know how difficult it is? I was playing up front or whatever, and it's the most difficult thing in the world when you're standing, like, in their area or whatever, and you've got a defender on your back, and in your ear you just hear, "Ah!" It's the most off-putting thing in the world. And I think it's that's so. We tried to take it easy on them, but that didn't work. And then we tried to play well, and we ended up drawing. So they used scare tactics, and it frightened me. This is probably the weirdest start to one of these you've had, right?
Yes. Well, final question on the card was, who has been the biggest role model in your life? A bit of a deeper switch.
You know, I mean, I suppose if we're looking at it like as a soppy answer, I suppose my dad, really, because I mean, we do similar jobs. We've pretty much got the same sense of humour, and I mean, we're pretty much the same person. I'm just version 2 and not as funny. So, I mean, that's probably one of them. I mean, there's a lot of different influences, like in terms of videos and stuff like that. I mean, again, it's a mixture of a lot of people, really. I mean, especially in the group, obviously, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a bit, but like they all inspire me to do better. If one of them gets like a banging TikTok, I'll be like, right, I need to do that now. And then it will sort of just rotate, I think. Well, I like to think anyway. I'm not sure anyone gets inspired by me, but yeah, so like my mates, I suppose, really. Yeah, I mean, that's a soppy answer. Yeah.
It's a nice one. All right. Well, that was the little card, the little warm up. We'll talk about YouTube. So you created the Wadism YouTube channel 6 years ago, but your earliest video is only 3 years ago. So did you
Well,
Did you make any content before?
well,
or
yeah.
was that...
I'll go from the beginning, I suppose. I mean, I'm going to set the scene, Isaac. It's 2010. You've got home from a long day at school, and the only thing on your mind is Modern Warfare 2. I mean, you weren't alive at the time, were you?
What year?
2010.
2010? Yes. I was 10.
But yeah, like Modern Warfare 2, got into sniping, and joined the Sniper clan. First, I was in the Impulse clan with two small eyes and the rest of the letters in capital letters. And then I joined the Sick clan with 2 eyes and 1 K. So that was fun. But they all started doing video editing and learning how to make montages and stuff, which was, I suppose, the thing to do back then. And that was where I really learned to edit, to be fair. Like, that's how I learned to cut clips and do all my volumes and stuff like that. And I never actually made a montage from it. Because you needed a capture card back then. And me being 13, 14, I didn't have money to go and buy one. So I got to like Christmas or whatever, and I got a Dazzle, which, if you're not familiar with a Dazzle, wonderful bit of kit. You need about 1,500 cables to get the thing going, and you can only record in standard definition. So there's me on a little TV about the size of my fucking head, which admittedly is quite big, but, you know, it's a small TV. In standard definition, playing Modern Warfare 2, trying to hit no-scopes across Afghan. So naturally didn't go anywhere, but there's a few videos up on a channel which I might show you after if you play cards right. So that was around 2010 time, give or take, and then that sort of died out, and I got into music, like DJ and production, that sort of thing, which weirdly I learned on Sony Vegas, which bizarre, but apparently Sony Vegas was originally made for music production. Fun fact. Supposedly, I don't know how true that is. So anyway, then did a detour for a few years, made a lot of music. And then I thought, I want to make a music promotion channel. You know, put my own stuff on there and put other stuff on there, just to, you know, spread some joy, and it's just a platform really. And that's when that channel was made. I've privated a lot of stuff on there, so I think 2015, 16 was about the time that started sort of coming up on there. Did a lot, like uploaded about 50 music like tracks and stuff, and then I was playing at the time competitive Battlefield, in like a clan or whatever, and we'd often just have sessions where they'd be quite funny and just sort of chilling, and you know, a few funny things would happen. I'd be like, I know how to edit it, and I always had like an interest in gaming videos and stuff like that. Like, why don't I just sort of start integrating the channel a little bit into that? And, you know, doing a few videos like that, just to spice it up a bit, just test myself, really, just push myself and see if I can do it. Did a few of them, but then the people I was playing with were just like so focused on competitive gaming, and I was just like, you know what, I just get stressed out playing games competitively. I just like having a good time, do you know what I mean? Which is, I suppose, where funny moments come from. And so I decided to check YouTube, see if I could find someone to play with. I mean, I've always been pretty sociable on these sort of things, on these sort of platforms, so I wasn't really worried about it. It was just a case of finding the right person. And then that's when Kyle came. So I've really gone the long-winded route about this, to be honest. Literally, this is like Lord of the Rings fucking monologue style here. But anyway, met Kyle, and then it's sort of just been from there, really. And then, I mean, you spoke to XL, obviously, about the story, and here we are, hating each other's guts.
Well, I wanted to talk about the earliest video currently on your YouTube channel. Do you know which one it is?
First channel, or the channel I'm on now?
The Wadism channel.
I think it was a track I did, but public video would have been a Battlefield one that I did with Kyle. First session we had together. There was a little gun in Battlefield 1 called the Calibri, which is like the smallest thing ever. And it was like that typical like small YouTuber thing. We're like, let's get a kill with it. It'll be funny. And like, it's a 9-minute video getting one kill with a fucking gun the size of a pencil sharpener. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's still up there.
Well, the video I was going to reference about the earliest one on your channel publicly is reading sex toy reviews.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Well, that was with some of the guys, or one of the guys that I played Battlefield with. But yeah, that was like the start of I want to try different stuff basically.
Yeah,
They were fun though.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna say why that one? Why is that the first one on your channel? But
Is it?
you kind of talked about that just then. No, it's the first like public video. Yeah, if you go far enough back.
I need to have a word
the
with my
oldest
manager
one.
about that, Isaac. They get that off. But no, them ones are fun.
Alright.
They like the minimum effort, and you get like a fair bit of content out of it, I suppose. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I rate it. Okay, so obviously your whole channel is based around gaming and things like that. I wanted to sort of ask what your first memory of gaming was.
right. I remember it pretty vivid. Well, yeah. I mean, I got my first console at like age 7, which was the PS2. I think I got Crazy Taxi, Enter the Matrix, and Rain Man 3, which are 3 quite different games for a 7-year-old. But like prior to that, my cousin had a PS1. We used to play like Crash Bash and Tekken and Gran Turismo. But yeah, it's pretty much just one of them. It was like that was the thing. Like pretty much from then on, I'm not even good at games. Like I just like getting lost in them. Like I'm always playing games. I'm doing a little thing at the moment, Isaac. I know it's off topic. Doing a little thing at the moment called the Dark Matter grind on Cold War. Do you know what that is? It's the worst thing to ever punish me in my life. I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't want it. It's horrible.
I'm gonna be honest, I would not. Yeah,
don't.
I wouldn't personally
Save
try
yourself.
it.
But anyway, I did warn you I'd get off topic. I'm very sorry.
No, it's fine.
But yeah, pretty much from there it was just went PS2, PS3, PS4, and then the PS5 apparently plays the limit, but maybe they should have made more consoles because apparently buying one is the fucking limit. So yeah, I'm waiting for one of them patiently.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are,
Yeah.
to be honest. Yeah. Right. One thing I wanted to do, obviously, as you say, gaming's something you love to do. I've wrote down a list of games that you've played, probably about 2 to 3 years back on your channel. Not all of them.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a tier list or create a tier list of games.
This could be
So
spicy.
we're gonna have top tier, which is GOAT.
Yeah.
Second tier, amazing.
Yeah.
Third tier, meh. Fourth tier, trash.
Right.
Okay. So, first game we've got Warzone. Where are you putting it?
As much as it infuriates me, and that game does really make me angry, it's got to be GOAT. I mean, come on, the amount of content we've milked out of it. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be GOAT.
Alright. Next game, Cold War.
Makes me want to punch babies, but again, I quite enjoy it. It's grown on me lately. I'm not. What's the one below GOAT? Great.
Amazing.
What's the one below that?
Oh,
Meh.
So we've got GOAT, amazing, meh, trash.
So I wouldn't say it's amazing, but I wouldn't say it's meh. I mean, I've said a fair.
Should we make a middle tier?
Yeah, let's make a middle. Let's just make a middle. I've said everything I have to say about Cold War, much to TikTok's dismay. But
Alright.
yeah, I don't mind it. It's the
We'll whack it in good.
Yeah,
A
whack it in
fifth tier in the middle.
Yeah. Or just all right. Yeah.
Yeah, just the alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next one, bit of a random one. Roblox.
Goat. No, I mean that would go meh. I could take it or leave it. We tried playing it the other day, but nothing would go. I was having a bit of a big baby night, and just nothing would go to plan. So I'll go meh. I can take it or leave it. But we did get a good video from it, I think. So yeah, I'll go meh. We'll go meh. Just even them out a bit. Do you know what I mean?
All right. Next, we've got Cuisine Royale.
That was amazing. I rate that game. The thing is, it's a free battle royale game, and it's like it completely went under the radar. But it was actually like really fun if you got into it with a bunch of mates. Like we got quite a bit out of it. I think we ended up being diamond at one point, which was a really fun game.
Honest,
I rated that game, man. Yeah,
I never played it. I never got around to do
it
it.
was really fun. Really difficult control. Honestly, it was like Michael J. Fox playing fucking maracas, but it was quite fun. Like once you could get the knack of the aiming on it, it was actually a proper laugh. There's a lot of weird abilities and stuff like that on there too. But yeah, I'll put that in amazing.
Okay, next we have Fallout 76.
Again, It was a very average game, but it did my channel one. It got me over the 1K mark, and we did get a lot of videos out of it. So I'll put that in. I'll put that in good because I feel similarly to that, like I do about Cold War. Great for content. I've had some good moments on it, but I fucking hate the game. Like the game itself just infuriates me. But yeah, like I've got some good stuff out of it, and I have had good moments on it equally as much as I have bad, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, not that any moment's really
enough.
bad. It's just if I get angry, it's just content for everyone else. So.
All right. Well, next game we've got is Battlefield 1.
Oh, that's go 100% go. That was the one that sort of That's if it weren't for that game, I wouldn't be having this conversation with you. I don't think. Love it.
GTA 5.
Again, I've not done as much on it as I'd like to do. Not with the group we've got now, but I'd say go because it's been a solid game for 8 years now. It's like been It's been a great game for that long. I mean, you still play it, obviously, with your lot, and yeah, I think it's justified. And the fact it's still getting updates, do you know what I mean? I think it says a fair bit about Rockstar as a company as well. As much as there was issues like with the whole pay to win stuff. I mean, I'm not a competitive gamer in that sense anymore, so I couldn't care less. But yeah, no, that's a solid game. I think anyone that disagrees should be put up against the wall and shot. Oh, the wine's kicking in, Isaac. The wine is making me get angry. No, it's fine. But yeah, no, go. That's a go.
All right. Next, we've got Fallout New Vegas.
Amazing. 3 was better, but it's still a great game.
All right. Spider-Man on the PS4.
I rated that game big time as well. That was amazing. So that's weird because you've gone through the streams here as well. I completely forgot I did these. Yeah, no, that's a solid game to be fair. I've not played the new one yet. I was going to wait till I get a PS5 for that. But yeah, that's I'd put that in amazing. Very fun game. Yeah, fun game.
Yeah. Apex Legends.
I never got on with it. Personally, there was just so much going on. I'm like, I know I look about 56. I'm 24, but I look about 56, and my brain sometimes works a little bit like that. So there was just so much going on, and it was too quick, and the whole jumping thing. It's just I can't do it. I can't do it, Isaac. I'm an old man. I'll go with meh. I could take it. I can really take it. I mean, it's where I met Dan, but you know.
All right, we've got Minecraft next.
And the thing is, I was just of the age when that came out that I was sort of just too old for it, I think. And it was only obviously as we started playing more games that I got into it. I'd go amazing, purely on the basis that I don't get the nostalgia factor from it that I think you've spoken to Dan about, like having as well. I remember the first time I saw it, like my cousin was playing it, and he's a few years younger than me, and I was just like, it's just Lego, isn't it? Like, if I want to play with Lego, I'll just go home and do it. But yeah, it's still a solid game. I think it's one of, like I'm glad that it's made a comeback as well because it's a great game. But I'll go good. I'll just put it in the middle.
Good. Yeah. It is back on the rise. I don't lie. It's
I mean it's always been lurking in the shadows, hasn't it? So
true.
I'm bad at it. I'm really bad. As you've seen, I'm awful at that game. I'm so bad. Just build a house out of wood and cobblestone. Just leave me be in my little bubble.
Next, we've got FIFA. I couldn't pick a year, so we'll just go in general. Any FIFA game.
I had again great times on it. I've not even bought this year's. I'll go good. Nah, amazing. I'll go amazing. I've had some good times on it. I'm still interested in football. I've just lost interest in FIFA because it's the same thing every year. Just make one FIFA and update it. Do you know what I mean? It's so much easier.
True.
Just do that. EA, if you're watching this, do that.
Next, we've got Siege.
It's one of them. I really want to play it more, but as you know, and you suffer with me, my PC is just made of like a gerbil wheel and spare parts. So I feel like I'm not getting the best experience I can from that. But from what I've played of it, I've had some good times. So I'll put that in good.
Okay.
I've not had any trash games yet. I need a.
No, you haven't.
Okay.
Fallout 4.
wanted to trash one, Isaac. That'll go amazing. I had to, again, good times on that game. Yeah. I feel like amazing and good are just going to be totally populated. I'm very sorry. I'm not very good at tier systems. I sit on the fence too much, man.
And then lastly, we've got just the Call of Duty series as a whole.
Again, it makes me so angry, but that's all I play at the moment, so it's got to be GOAT. It has to be. I want to put it in trash for the meme, but no, it's got to be GOAT. I mean, Modern Warfare or COD 4 was where I started. Modern Warfare 2, World at War was good. Black Ops 1 was good. Strangely, I missed Black Ops 2. I was on Battlefield at that point. But like even then, like the latest Modern Warfare, I love that game. So yeah, we'll put that in GOAT because it's as much as it pains me to do so. We'll put it in GOAT. We'll put it in GOAT.
Well, that's the end of the tier list. But did any games come to mind that you would put in trash? Any of the games that you've hated?
There's been a few that we've played as a group. What was it? Hyperscape. Blue was banging on about this game. He was like, we got to play it. I literally played one game. I was like, this is horrible. I hate everything about this. Why am I doing like somersaults in the air and like why is the map like disintegrating beneath my feet? What is going on? I just need a little bit of... It's because I'm old. So yeah, that one would be on trash. And then... I can't think of any others. That's the only game recently I played that I was just like, no, we do not get on. You know when you just meet someone and you don't get on with them? Like us. It was like that. So, yeah, that was
enough. Yeah. Okay. Well, I wanted to move on then from the tier list to talk about the Winkies, your group.
Oh, yeah.
And how that came about. How did that start?
Yeah. Sorry, I spilled my wine. So, literally, I've had one glass, man. So I met Kyle June 2017, maybe. Can't remember. I don't know if that was the actual year. Might have been 2018. Anyway, whatever. I met Kyle playing Battlefield, obviously, as we've been through already. And I mean, I think you've been through this with Dan anyway, but I'll give you he did say I'd say I was the granddad of the group, and I am the granddad of the group. So, one, screw you, Dan, if you are listening. And let me be old. Just let me be old in peace. But, yeah, me and Kyle started playing together, played a few games. He got a few of his friends in. I found some people on YT Talk, as I know you discovered recently. How fun that can be. If you're not aware what YT Talk is, it's a forum full of wonderful people all looking to... I think Dan put it beautifully when he said that they basically just want to be Vanos and co. So, yeah, we found a few people on there. We all got on, had a pretty good laugh. And then as sort of time went on, me and Kyle were the only ones that carried on making content. And it was at the point where it was just us, like every session, pretty much. And I think I put an ad out on YT Talk, ironically. Found Dan, and then we played a few games together, and it was sort of just like, so you're going to join? Do you want to join our little group? And he was like, yeah, maybe. And then eventually I ground him down and forced him to join against what felt like, I suppose, metaphorical gunpoint. And then... I mean, while this is happening, we sort of we make the Discord server, which is now on like almost 600 people, which is pretty wild. But at that point, obviously, you're getting people join from a lot of different areas because you've got 3 people uploading videos, all putting Discord links and stuff like that in their description. So you're getting people coming from all angles. And then again, at this point, it was just me, Kyle, Dan, or Kyle, Mr. Bio. I should have probably stressed that up earlier. And yeah, it was just us 3 really going at it, and the Discord obviously growing slowly, and we're all making slow, momentous growth. And then Blue comes along. He just joined the Discord, I think. I remember the first session we had with him. Because I think Kyle and Dan had a session with him in the week or something, and they were like, "Oh, yeah, we'll get him in for the weekend." I was like, not met him at all. And we were playing Mordau, and I just joined in and I went, I made a joke about the colour blue, and he just did this like sickly laugh. He sounded like some sort of child in the 1500s that have been caught with plague, and just like I was like, yeah, he seems all right. And then again, I can't remember what Dan's told you and what he hasn't. I don't want to like be repeating stuff, but I remember the first session we had with him. Me and Dan were sort of like, right, let's test him, because if he passes this, then he's, you know, we'll see if he wants to join. And we were just, we said before, we were like, right, be as offensive as you possibly can. Just do not hold back. Be relentless. Just aggravate him to the point where he can't take any more. And if he can hack it, then he's pretty much in. So we pretty much went to town on him. And that was a cuisine. And yeah, like after that, we were like, yeah, you're all right. Do you want to join? So, but like, to be fair to Blue, I love the guy a bit. He's like, especially with the Discord server, like we do have some disagreements about certain aspects of life and stuff, but you're gonna get that wherever you go. But yeah, he's done the server wonders, to be fair, because he's good with it, and yeah, he's a good kid. He means well. Again, like the thing is, like with all three of them, they're three of like the nicest blokes I know. So it is nice to. Because if you're down or something, you know, they'll bring you up and help you. Which, I mean, it's good. And obviously we've got Jude as well, who's got a fair bit going on at the moment. Fair play to him. But again, lovely guy. And I think it's a big part of having like a group, I suppose, is having a good team around you as well, isn't it? Like, so if you've got a bunch of good mates around you, which you have as well, you know, you're going to be eager to go into sessions, and you're going to enjoy sessions much more. Even if you don't get any content out of it, you're still having a session with your mates at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We never look at it as recording sessions. We just look at it as, do you want to play a game? And go from there. The name, actually, I know Dan had some concerns about the name. He wants to call it Set 5 Maths, which I think's quite a funny name, to be fair. But it was only temporary. The name wasn't actually meant to be that. It was sort of like a bit of a joke. And then we just got used to calling it that. And by the time Dan joined, it was like we were too far in. Like the Discord was on 200 people. I was like, yeah. But like, we still do joke about Set 5 Maths, to be fair. And it is tempting to just go, yeah, we're Set 5 Maths now. But it's quite a mouthful. But yeah. Fun though. Like, okay. you got like, at the end of the day, we'll do it. Like, all of us in the group are there taking the piss out of ourselves, pretty much. And if your name's even stupider than all five of you, do you know what I mean? Why the hell not?
Well, maybe in the future we'll see the rise of Set 5 Maths then. Okay.
I'll drink to
well,
that, yeah.
I wanted to move a little bit away from the gaming and the YouTube and everything. So we've talked about that. To talk about the music, because you produced some music, and you've mentioned that you, for a time, did that more than YouTube, and so is that something that you've always done?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, after I did the initial introduction, I suppose, into YouTube, after that sort of went out, I guess. I don't know. That's not the term, is it? After that, like faded out. I learned to DJ and stuff. And I mean, I grew up on indie rock, you know, all that sort of music. Bands like Nirvana, Arctic Monkeys, I suppose, they were a big influence on me growing up. Like Sabian, a lot of like Radio X, basically. And then I got into, which is a complete U-turn, I then got into drum and bass. Like age 13, 14. Like, you got some 13-year-old just listening to Jungle at like... trying to go to sleep listening to Prodigy and Chasing Status and Pendulum, bands like that. And I got into production and DJing through that, and it sort of just became a case of making stuff until I was comfortable enough to do it and release it, really. And even then, like even now, I've been doing it 10 years now, give or take. I mean, I'm only just at a level where I'm like, okay, this is actually decent. Like, this is a level that I'm quite happy with. But through that, I met my mate Owen, who we had similar music tastes, really. And then, for some reason, we decided to make house music, which was a strange choice considering we were both in a drum and bass. And we did that for like 5 years, and then we sort of thought, well, we're not really vibing it anymore. We're not really like. we were on different wavelengths, I suppose, at that time.
Mm.
And then I made a few bits on my own, which went on the channel, and there's some bits here and there. And then we're now back together, making drum and bass. I don't know why we didn't just do that in the first place, because that would have been the logical thing to do. But that project's called EFOS, EFOS. We were originally called Eros with an R, but we swapped the R out. You see, Isaac, big brain move. And yeah, so we swapped that out, and then we've been doing that since August last year. Obviously, with the lockdowns and stuff, it's been fucking nightmare, to be honest. But we're still managing. We got our first remix up a couple of weeks ago, which was Delilah, Breathe. I don't know if anyone will remember that song, to be fair. It's from a 2012, I think, that album came out. But yeah, it's just basically really angry noise that's quite fast. That's the best way to describe it, I think. If you like drum and bass, then that's that's on SoundCloud. And there was a YouTube account as well, which you can find on my channel. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Is it something that you want to pursue further?
I work in a music shop, so it got to the point where I left school and I could have either got a degree in music, like in studio production and stuff like that, or I could get a job in a music shop. And I thought, realistically, what am I going to do at the end of a music degree? Probably get a job in a music shop. So I thought I might as well just get the 3 years experience, and I'll be on a full-time wage and so on and so forth. So this wine's giving me crippling hiccups. But yeah, so it was either basically get a job or spend 21 grand on a degree that I won't really be able to use anything other than working in a studio. And a lot in that industry is very much who you know. Because the only reason I've got the job where I am now is because my dad was doing repairs for him. He repairs guitars for a living. And they needed someone to do all the DJ stuff and so on and so forth. So that's how I ended up there. I'm still there now, to be fair. And it's a retail job at the end of the day, but it's a retail job in something I enjoy, which is music. So obviously I get to talk to a lot of people with a similar mindset doing a similar sort of thing. And the people I work with are second to none, in my opinion. They're basically just mates, really, at this point. Do you know what I mean? They're I consider them my third friend group, really, or fourth. One of my friend groups. I'm a very popular guy, so I've got loads of friends. I can't keep track of how many friend groups I have. But yeah, very, very popular me. Which is why I'm in my bedroom alone drinking wine. Oh dear. How this has descended into chaos.
Well, okay. I want to speak to you about something that I have no idea what story is going to come out of this, but Dan asked me to ask you about this. The only word I've got, so it's not even really actually a question, but the urinal cube.
Why does this always come back to haunt me, man? I did tell this story on a podcast we did on the Winkies YouTube channel, which, to be fair, has been neglected a little bit recently. Only because we're also focused on our own accounts and stuff, and getting everyone together is like pulling teeth. But I told the story there, but I'll tell it again. So I'm on a night out in... I suppose the place is irrelevant, but as an Essex lad, I was in Chelmsford, as you do. And it was the end of the night. I was smashed. I think I probably drunk my body's weight in booze. And and I went into the toilet. Me and my mate went to the toilet before the club shut. It was like half an hour before. So we were like, oh, we'll just get out now, get a cab, go to Macca's. Actually, this might have been a different night. I think I'm getting too confusing. There was one where I was feeding a girl, me and this girl in McDonald's. I'm going off topic. I'm trying to just avoid the question.
This sounds interesting as well. So what?
No, it was like my mates were sort of like moderately pissed, but I was like on another level. And this girl, her mates were moderately pissed, but she was on another level as well. And we were just sitting opposite each other on this table in McDonald's. just like, when you stare at someone and you're hammered and you're swaying all over the place, and like you're looking through them, and we're just feeding each other nuggets. It's the weirdest thing. I was just like, "Would you like a nugget, darling?" She's like, "Yeah." Literally like putting nuggets in her mouth, and then she was like, "Do you want a nugget?" I'm like, "Yeah." Weirdest thing. And yeah, that was another time. No, although most good nights do end up in a McDonald's at some point. But yeah, back to I suppose I'm gonna have to tell this story anyway. So I went to the toilet with a mate just before the club was shut, and I was like, I don't want to go in the cab. I don't want to wet myself. That would be embarrassing. So I decided to do something even more embarrassing to outweigh it. And I just finished my piss, and I pick up one of the piss biscuits. And I'm telling you now, Isaac, don't call them piss biscuits if they're not edible, because that's just wrong. And I looked at him. I went, "Oh no, there was a random guy in there." I always forget this detail. There was a random guy in there with us, and I looked at him. I went, "Do you dare me to lick it?" And he just looked at me like I've never seen someone look at me so terrified. And he went, "Yeah." I just like looked him dead in the eye, licked it, put it back. I thought, "Oh no, what have I done? I've unlocked a Pandora's box of mischief here." Anyway, come out. My mate's like, "You ain't gonna guess what he's just done." No, I told him. I was really excited about it. I was like, "This is hilarious. I am such a troublesome little man." And they were like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, funny." And they wouldn't talk to me the whole ride home. We were walking to the cab rank, and for some reason we told this random guy, and he looked at me and just went, "Do you want to fight?" I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "Mate, I've just licked a piss biscuit. I don't want to fight. I've got other things on my mind." But I had a theory that was the reason I hadn't caught COVID, because I had 99.9% bacteria and like kill in my blood. But then I caught COVID, so like maybe not.
Oh, did you have it
over Christmas? Yeah, it was great fun. I sat in bed playing Assassin's Creed for a week and lost about a stone. So
did you lose like your smell or your taste or anything?
Both, yeah. Luckily, it was 2 days because my sister had it on Christmas, and then 2 days before her isolation ended, I caught it. So I was just like stuck there. Just if you obviously if you're listening to this on Spotify, which this podcast is now on, I just pointed to my bed. For those hard of hearing. But yeah, just sat in bed. I had a mild, luckily, so it was just smell and taste. I pretty much couldn't do anything. But
I reckon if I lost my my taste and smell, I'd just whack a load of fish down me.
I do. The thing is, though, you lose your appetite entirely. I was eating like a branch of grapes a day at most, and I was going insane. Because I'm still going insane. This lockdown has just finished me. Like you can't even leave your I can go for walks and stuff now. Couldn't even leave my room. I was just like, that was the worst bit. The mental side of it. Like I could deal with being ill. Yeah. I would have got the thing is I said to work about it, and I was like, if it wasn't COVID, I'd have been in work because it's tolerable. You get a bit worn out and that, but I suppose I only had it mild, so it's difficult to judge it if you've got it worse, and obviously if there's underlying health conditions, and I totally get it. So I got quite lucky with it, I guess. But
yeah, one other thing Dan told me about, which I don't really understand because no questions are going to come from this, but he told me the fact that on a night out you always get a bigger lady.
No, that's actually factually incorrect. I've never actually I've never gone down that route personally. It's not. I'm sorry if anyone watching this or listening to this is a bigger lady, but yeah, no, not for me. I did have an interesting experience with one once. Actually, we were in the club in the smoking area, as you are, and this woman just looked at me and she just went, "Do you like fat birds?" Like there wasn't even any build-up context to it. There was nothing. She just went, "Do you like fat birds?" I was just looked at her, I was like, "No, sorry." It's the weirdest thing. Like there's some strange propositions in clubs down here, man. If you've got time, I've got another story which I was saving for something else. But
Yeah, no, go ahead if you want.
So this is the night I almost got raped by a 60-year-old woman.
Right.
So me and my mate go to Ascot, horse racing and that, dressed to the T's. I was wearing a neck scarf. I looked the tits. And I put like a bet on the first horse, win 40 quid. I was like, brilliant, champagne on me, let's go. And we're just getting smashed all day. Like, we're just drinking. And obviously, once you've had a certain amount of Prosecco and red wine, you start just going along with stuff and hoping for the best. And my mate was putting a bet on. It was like one of the last few races. And he got chatting to this woman in the queue. I mean, we're 24. I think we were 23, 24 at the time. And, it must have been 22. It was pre-COVID, BC. And he got chatting to this bird in the queue. And they were like, oh, come sit with us. So it's only us two anyway. So it was like, oh, all right, four of us. Like, always say yes to company. Do you know what I mean? We're from the other side of London. Like, I'm East London. Ascot's West. So I'm in the middle of, I don't even know where I am.
I'm still laughing about PC before COVID. I don't know why that just tickled me.
We have fun here.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Go
It's fine. But yeah, so we're from the other side of London. So I'm Travel Lodge, which was in a Waitrose car park for some reason. It was like 10 miles out of Ascot or whatever. Easy Uber, not a problem. So anyway, we go and sit with these two women. One of them's like 32, and the other one's like 65, 70. And I was like, oh, it must be like a mum or something. It turns out she was just like her carer or something. I don't know what she was. But I'll send you a picture of what she looked like after this. It turns out the 32-year-old was a private jet pilot, of all people. She's flown people like Rihanna, Prince Harry, and there was someone else. Oh, Angelina Jolie, I think, was one of the big ones she's done. I was like, all right. She was pretty cool, to be fair. She was, like, pretty normal. 60-year-old, not so much. It got to the point in the evening where, like, the races had all finished and there was, like, a bit of a live music thing on the stage. And we're just there having a bit of dance. Obviously, I'm smashed, so the dancing dad moves at a wedding come out. I cannot dance. For someone that works in music, I've got no rhythm in my body, which is weird. But we're just having a good time. They're like, oh, we're going to go for an Italian after this if you want to come. And we're like, I like food. You like food. Let's go. And we were like, all right, well, we should get an Uber or something. And then the 60-year-old, this is where the evening took a swift U-turn, Isaac. I'll tell you now. The 60-year-old's like, oh, sorry, my sugar daddy's going to get us. I was like, sorry? She's like, yeah, my sugar daddy, he'll be here in a minute. I've already called him. I was like, okay, that's completely normal. So this guy turns up in a Beamer, picks us up. We get in the car. And before I get in, I'm like, oh, what's his name? Just so I can say, like, thanks and that. She was like, oh, he's Snoop. I was like, okay, get in. This guy's the spit of Snoop Dogg. Weirdest thing ever. Me and my mate get in the back. He gives us the dirtiest look I've ever seen. She's in the front. Then they start arguing, and she was like, all right, they had that argument, whatever. The whole evening was just so chaotic, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. She was like, oh, I've just got to go back to mine to feed the cats, and we'll have a drink, and then we'll go to the Italian. I was like, all right, safe, whatever. I want the Italian, and then I want to go home because I want to be in bed because I'm smashed. I've been drinking since 10 o'clock in the morning. It's now like 7. So, yeah, we go to her house. She feeds the cats. It's like this weird country house in the middle of nowhere. Snoop's in the garden having a joint. He don't know what's going on. Me and my mate are just sitting on the sofa like two kidnapped little like children, not knowing what is going on. And she's like, Prosecco, get it down. You're like force feeding us Prosecco. I was like, Patricia, dearest, I'm fine, thank you. And she was like, no, have some. I was like, okay. Anyway, we go to this Italian restaurant. And I know she had another argument with Snoop there. I think Snoop was jealous about me and my friend trying to, swoon in and pick on his bird. Not that I had any desire to, personally, but, Anyway, we go to this Italian, and then I'm sitting next to Patricia, dearest, as I was calling her that entire night, just to be sarcastic. I was sitting next to her. And I start to feel ill. I'm like, oh no, this ain't good. um, but then I feel someone touch my thigh. I was just like, ah, shit. It's just this 60-year-old is just like rubbing my thigh. I was like, sorry, you got the wrong idea here. No, thank you. I'm just here for a nice meal. And then, like, because it's the end of the night, obviously you're wearing a shirt and that, like, the shirt's a few buttons undone at this point, and my chest's out a little bit. And she's like, oh, you've got such a nice chest. I was like, stop this, please. I just want to eat my carbonara. So I was like, I need the toilet. I think I might throw up. Went to the toilet. Come outside. My mate was out there. And I was like, what should we do? He was like, just pay the money and run. I was like, we could do that. He was like, yeah, let's just do that. I was like, all right, cool, we'll do that. And honestly, he looked like a man that had just been divorced at this point. I'd never seen a friend in such a state. He looked like he was going through some sort of turmoil. And I was like, oh, okay, I think we're gonna go now. We got to like check out early in the morning. It's like 10 o'clock at this point. She's like, no, we're going to the club. I'm like, sorry? She's like, yeah, we're going to the club. And then Snoop pipes up because he doesn't want her to go to the club. So obviously we compromised and we tried to go to the club, and she doesn't get let in because she ain't got any ID. Of all things. Right. And then she was like, right, let's just go back to mine, we'll have some more drinks. I was like, okay, we'll get there. I said to my mate, I was like, upon myself, I was like, look, we're going there and we are ordering an Uber and we are going home. I do not care. I want to go home. I am not spending another hour with this bin. And anyway, we're walking back to hers and we had to go through this dark alley. And this is where it got horrible. We're walking through it, and when just conversation goes quiet, and it just like the conversation died, and she went, I had sex here once. I was like, oh no. I was like, oh really, Patricia dearest, how long ago was this? She was like, ooh, 3 weeks. I was just like, oh. I was like, how old was he? She was like, 28. Like every ounce of my body just cringed. I was just like, it's like fair play to her. She's still getting it at age 65 or whatever it is. Fair play to her. But after my thighs had been molested, I just wanted to go. So we get back to her, feed the cats again, because apparently cats need feeding 3 times in one afternoon. And then I'm like, I downloaded Uber specifically to get out of there. So she's sitting on my mate's lap at this point, trying to get with him. And I was like, right, Uber's here, I'm going, are you coming? He's like, yeah, I'll be 2 secs. I sit in the back of the Uber. Then I'm like, oh, where is he? What's he doing? And then like 2 seconds later, he just comes running out of the house, gets in the Uber, slams the door. He's like, drive. I'm like, what happened? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, what happened? He was like, no, just drive. Turns out we were like 20 miles away from Ascot, which was 10 miles away from our hotel. Like we were 30 miles away from our hotel. I had no idea where we were. It cost us about 50 quid. And then we get back to the hotel, and there's 2 trolleys and a crash helmet. So we just played around. And then it's just the day descended into chaos. My mate was like, I'm going to go get a kebab. I was like, all right, I'm going to get in the room. It's like midsummer, so I'm going to get comfortable. Fans on, windows open. I just dozed off. It was beautiful. My mate slams the door open. He's got 2 sausage rolls in his hands. I was like, kebab shop shut. He was like, yep. I was like, petrol station? Yep. I scoff my sausage roll. He goes to bed. I go to bed. I'm just dozing off, and then I hear him stumbling about. And what he's done, he's managed to put his suit on a chair in the corner of the room. And it's quite an expensive suit. And he's managed to throw up in a complete pile on that suit. And and his whole suit was just covered in it. So I made him go to the toilet. I was like, I'm going to bed. You can carry on throwing up. I'm sleeping. And then in the morning, he drove. And we got up in the morning. He was like, have you ever driven a van before? I was like, no. He was like, do you want to? I was like, no. He was like, all right, I'll give it a go. We literally drove 100 metres and he pulled over. He was like, I can't do it. So it was the worst. That was the worst hangover I think I've ever had. That was horrible. So I'm getting PTSD thinking about that story.
That's a fantastic story.
Horror, man. You weren't there. But I do highly recommend Ascot if for anyone that's intrigued. I don't agree with like the treatment of the horses and that, but it's a good day out if you're with your mates.
Yeah.
It's quite funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got smashed. Yeah.
Well, that was a fantastic story. Okay.
I
Well, I wanted to.
Carry on. Sorry.
That's fun. I wanted to. Well, the next question I was going to ask was, are you a film or TV man? But a follow-up was going to be, because I'd noticed in your webcam that you have a BB-8 and a Stormtrooper helmet, and you've got Star Wars on the screen.
What's going on. Yeah, I just put it on shuffle.
Are you a fan of Star Wars?
I'm just an all-round dog, to be honest. I got a bit of everything. Yeah, like I was pretty much raised on Star Wars, but yeah, no, I like Star Wars, Marvel. I don't watch any anime, which is, I mean, I can take it. I'm sure I'd probably enjoy it, but not really for me. But yeah, no, I love Star Wars. I watched. Are you a Marvel fan?
Yeah.
Have you watched Falcon Winter Soldier yet?
Yes, the new episode came out today.
Yeah, I watched it before this. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
WandaVision was good.
Good.
But yeah, no, I like collecting shit because I'm a nerd. So, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a massive like film lover. I've not really got the attention span for it anymore. But like I do have, like, I mean, I do watch films. I do like cinema trips and stuff like that as well. What's your favourite? I'm doing an interview now. What's your favourite film of all time?
I don't really have a top. I have like a top like 3 or 5.
Go on.
I'd say.
'Cause you're doing film at uni, aren't you?
I am, yes. Yeah. Okay, so I'll go Dark Knight.
That's top 3. Yep.
Interstellar.
Ooh, okay. I've not watched it. I have got it. I love Christopher Nolan films though. So
yeah, you should watch it. It's very good. Inception is up there.
Solid film. Yeah. I'm noticing a
Whiplash.
trend here. I was going to say all Christopher Nolan films.
Yeah, Whiplash is up there. Have you seen that?
I've not seen that. What's that?
It's do you know J.K. Simmons, the actor?
Yeah, he played
in the original Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's him. He is a jazz teacher to, I forgot the other guy's name, but basically it's just a drummer in a jazz band, and he's a really strict composer. But it's I'm not gonna say anything more than that.
Yeah.
Just watch it. Like it's such a good film. Apart from that, it's all pretty like. Have you seen like I'll say Hereditary? That's a very good horror film if you've seen that.
So with horror films, I find they're quite. I don't know if it's me being arrogant about the whole thing, but I find they're just a bit cliche. Like maybe I've just not watched.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But watch Hereditary. It's you might have seen Midsummer. That's another kind of one like that, and it's by a director who does horrors but actually makes them like interesting, and it's not just cheap jump scares.
So I like the ones that like are more mental than anything. I'm trying to think of a good one, but I can't. Like, to be fair, The Shining is a classic. You can't go wrong with that. And you can't not love Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction is number 1 as far as I'm concerned.
Number 1 for you?
Yeah, Pulp Fiction. Number 2, well, I can't remember what number 2 was. I don't know. I think it might have been Dark Knight, to be honest. Oh yeah, and Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, they're the top 3 as far as I'm concerned.
Well, okay, I'm going to ask you a follow up then. If Pulp Fiction is your top 1,
Shoot.
Well, any other Quentin Tarantino films? What was your opinion on the news one?
I really liked it, to be honest.
Forgot the name of it now.
Once Upon a Time Hollywood.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
To be honest, the thing is, I'm a bit of a sucker for anything like vintage. I got a load of like water and stuff as well because I went through a bit of a phase. But yeah, no, I'm a sucker for like 50s, 60s sort of fashion music a lot, and it was really well done, to be fair. And I felt the way it was weaved around like real events as well. Like I suppose similar to Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah,
similar. Like it's quite cleverly done, I thought. And the last act, I suppose, is so Tarantino it hurts.
Yeah. The whole pool scene.
Yeah,
and everything.
It's incredible. Yeah. I mean, because like the whole film, you're sort of like it's building up to something, but you don't know what, and then obviously that happens. You're like, all right, it's a Tarantino film. But I thought Brad Pitt and DiCaprio were brilliant in that. As they are in everything, really. To be fair. Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Django was sick as well. That's a great film. That was like my introduction to Tarantino, Django. I remember watching that. That was an interesting night, actually. It had just come out, and I had just started a new sitcom, so I'd made a new bunch of friends, and it was like, oh, we'll have a drinking night, we'll watch Django, because they're all into films anyway. So I was like, all right, sound. I'm intrigued about it anyway. And I was like, I've got to impress him, I've got to show him how cool I am. And I was like, all right, we'll do vodka chess. What could go wrong? So we're playing vodka chess. Basically, every time you lose a piece, you do a shot of vodka. It's a horrible game, horrible idea. And this is like age 16 as well, so it's like you think you can drink more than you can. And it's going well. I lose the first game, knackering, but fair enough. And the next game, turns out, which is the most uncool thing I think I'm ever going to say, but it turns out one of my mates was in a chess club. It completely battered the other guy. Next thing we know, I've got a picture after this, which is just incredible. But basically, my mate's just like taking his top off, rolling about on the floor, and then he's thrown up all over himself. There's just like vomit everywhere. A lot of my stories end up in vomit, to be fair. I'm not an alcoholic, I promise. As he says, that he's drinking red wine. But yeah, we called his mum. Basically dragged him, left him in the garden, called his mum. We were like, yeah, can you pick him up? Like age 16. Can you pick it, Joey, please? And then we cleaned up and watched Django in bed. 3 guys in one bed watching Django. It was great. So that was a good time. I had fun with that one. Yeah.
I thought of one other film when you were saying that, which is the Revenant. You seen that one?
I haven't seen it. No, I've not seen it. It was one of them at the time. I was like, I really want to see this because DiCaprio and who directed it? It wasn't Scorsese, was it?
No, I can't remember. He's not like a big, well-known director. I don't think. Like not done much else. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't.
No,
I don't know.
No, the name. Yeah.
Wall Street was good actually. Tony DiCaprio, long but good.
Yeah, you think it's ending about halfway, then turns out you've got another like hour and a half.
The bit where they take.
I'll tell you one. Because obviously that's like Scorsese's thing, in it, just stupid long films.
Yeah.
One time I watched one of them. It's called The Silence, or just Silence, I think. It's got Andrew Garfield in, and it's it's like I don't recommend it. I'm going to be honest. It's about 3 hours. It's not a silent film, but it's about monks just traveling across Asia for
I'd
3
watch
hours.
That. I feel like you could make a drinking game out of that. Yeah, maybe I do have a problem. I spoke about this on another podcast, but me and my mates tend to turn a lot of really bad films into drinking games, and we did Stuart Little. That was brutal. That was horrible.
Stuart Little's a classic.
I hate Stuart Little. I hate that stupid little rodent. I hope he gets stuck in a mousetrap.
You should do it with a Sharknado, and every time you see a shark on screen, you have to take a shot.
But South Park we did. That was obviously not film, but basically the rules we'd made just meant that you were flat out drink. You might as well have just not put the glass down from your mouth the whole episode. It was brutal. I think that ended up in throw up as well. Well, actually, a lot of times it's not me, but I yeah.
Well, clearly you can handle it better than them.
I wouldn't go that far. You've seen me on streams, man. I'm awful.
Okay, well, we've talked about like top films and things like that. What about, obviously, music's a big thing for you. You named a couple earlier, but some top artists or songs.
It really depends on my mood, to be fair. I know this is such a cliche answer, but I literally listen to everything. Before this, I was listening to the soundtrack from Project X for some reason. If you've not seen that, it's a great film.
Yeah.
Before that, I was listening to some drum and bass just to get a bit of ideas for projects and stuff. And then this morning, I listened to a load of 50s music. Went out for a drive to go to the co-op to get a meal deal and thought, I want to listen to Sinatra, so I did. Yeah, it's mad. I suppose biggest, if I had to narrow it down to 5, I'm going to try and go across the spectrum here as well. I'd probably go Pendulum, probably because they changed how I saw electronic music. The Arctic Monkeys, again, is a Turner's a lyrical genius, in my opinion. Tame Impala for the production and just how clever Kevin Parker is.
Yeah.
Disclosure, they got me into house music pretty much. And number 5, Beatles. Because I mean, you can't not like the Beatles, really, can you? It's just a sin.
Yeah, solid top 5, I reckon.
What about you? Are you going to go like Lil Pump or someone?
No. Although it's a bit different to you. I don't know. I don't really have a top 5. Kanye.
Okay, I can
won't.
sort of see Kanye. I can get that. Yeah.
Yeah, Kanye's at the top. I don't know. Mine. Apart from him being number 1, everyone else just is always changing.
That's good.
I agree with you, and I agree with Tame Impala being top.
Yeah.
At the minute, I'm listening to a lot of have you heard of Youngblood?
Oh yeah. I tell you what, I went on a bit of a tangent the other night because I've been listening to a lot of Bring Me the Horizon lately, which wasn't raised up on like metal or anything, but I do like the last 4 albums, if none, I've really enjoyed. And obviously, I did a song with him, and I've also been listening. This sounds so like 12-year-old of me, but I've been listening to a lot of KSI lately. Weirdly, it's fun when you listen when you're gaming though. It's actually quite good to listen to. And obviously, I know Patience come out recently. And you were singing it the other night in our little COD session.
I was.
And then I was like, the first time I listened to it, I was like, a bit whatever, innit? But
I like it.
The more I listen to it, the more I'm like, that's actually a little bit of a banger, you know? It's actually quite good.
Isn't it? It's good. It's good.
It's actually really catchy. But yeah, then I went on a tangent listening to him. I once dated a girl that was obsessed with him, so it put me off a little bit. I was just a bit like, yeah, he looks like a bit of a weirdo. But obviously, the songs I've heard of him in, I was like, it's kind of alright.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anybody else.
I mean, I've got a record collection just there. I mean,
so have I. I'm looking at mine.
Mine's color coordinated because I'm a little bit OCD.
Mine's alphabetical, but it's not
logical.
color.
That's logical. Nah, see, I sat like one afternoon. I was like, just put it in color order. You won't regret it. Now look at it. I'm like, oh yes.
What are some of your rarest ones, would you say?
I've got, well, my granddad passed almost a year ago, actually, next week, I think. And my nan brought around a load of his old records, and there was an original press of Billie Jean, which was kind of cool.
Right.
Nothing, a lot of like 7 inches, really, are the rare ones. But yeah, like in terms of 12-inch, a lot of the ones I've got are new, like just new versions, really, like 12-gram stuff. I'm trying to see what I've got. I've got a few like wonderfully coloured ones. I've got like the Time Impala's latest album. Actually, I got the coloured one, so it's like one red, one blue vinyl. Yeah. There's a Bowie one. I've got I think Diamond Dogs, which is red for some reason. The thing is, if we're talking if we're talking albums, top 5 albums for me, Beatles, Rubber Soul, Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys, Disclosure, Settle, Arctic Monkeys. Probably, it's going to make me sound like such a white girl, but I am, purely because of how impactful it was. And Hold Your Colour by Pendulum, probably. As drum and bass albums, guys, second to none, in my opinion. But
all right.
The thing is, I could literally just chat about that for hours. This is weird. As you know, I could just chat for hours, but
yeah. Okay. Well, that is all the questions that I have to ask you. Thank you for coming on the podcast. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
That's okay. If you've got this far, thank you for listening to me ramble about shit for the last hour and a bit. I'm sorry.
No, I will say this is. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably one of the ones I've laughed the most while doing. So
that's all right.
You know,
that's all right. You're very welcome.
Doesn't it? All right. Thank you for coming on.